Well, you've all heard about him. The media's raving about him, and whether you love him or whether you hate him, you have to admit, he sure did a lot for just one guy. Come and gather round, my people, tell the children not to cry. Bid them listen to my banjo, and a story I will tell of a great and gallant hero who did spit right in the eye of our tyrannous oppressors on the day he gave 'em hell. So here's to Eugene, the anarchist, who ran the World Trade Organization out of town. Oh yes, 3 cheers for Eugene, the anarchist, that single-handed warrior who shot the bastards down. He was dressed in ragged trousers and their color it was black. How long he had been wearing them you'd never want to ask. And a circle with an A inside was painted on his back. In his hand he held a hammer, on his face he wore a mask. He arrived upon the day when all the tyrants tried to meet, and they cowered in their hotel room so fearful of his wrath, and they dared not step outside that day into the crowded street, for fear the people's hero would be standing in their path. So here's to Eugene, the anarchist, who ran the World Trade Organization out of town. Oh yes, 3 cheers for Eugene, the anarchist, that single-handed warrior who shut the bastards down. The riot cops did beat him till their nightsticks all were bent, and they fired their mighty cannons off to make a tear gas haze. But he laughed at them till every tear gas canister was spent, and he upturned 1,000 dumpsters and he set them all ablaze. 20,000 rubber bullets they have fired at him point blank, and he caught them in his teeth as though they were just jelly beans. And he tore the wheels off a police car with just one yank, and the windows of the Nike town he smashed to smithereens. 50 gallons of their pepper spray they shot into his eyes, and he looked directly at the stream and didn't even blink. And he flattened 3 McDonald's joints and 1 Starbucks franchise, saying, "I'd never hurt small business, folks, but corporations stink." So here's to Eugene, the anarchist, who ran the World Trade Organization out of town. Oh yes, 3 cheers for Eugene, the anarchist, that single-handed warrior who shut the bastards down. He smashed the glass of Nordstrom's for selling useless trash manufactured by the military of the Red Chinese, and he waved his magic spray can, and a mighty spell he cast that summoned forth an army of green turtles from the seas. And he summoned giant butterflies to swoop down from the air, and cows and clowns and pyramids and disembodied heads, and they sang about a day when all the trading would be fair, while the greedy corporate ministers all hid beneath their beds. He cast the Asian steel off the ships into the bay, and invoked the gods of working folk to shut down all the ports. And he wielded a great wrecking ball and smashed the county jail, and he occupied the naval base and panicked all the courts. He uprooted the Space Needle and he waved it like a wand, and he cast a spell that broke the nation's bank vaults open wide, and he summoned winds that blew the money to the hungry poor, and the working people partied while the parasites all died. So here's to Eugene, the anarchist, who ran the World Trade Organization out of town. Oh yes, 3 cheers for Eugene, the anarchist, that single-handed warrior who shut the bastards down. Oh yes, hooray for Eugene, the anarchist, who ran the World Trade Organization out of town. Oh yes, 3 cheers for Eugene, the anarchist, that single-handed warrior who shut the bastards down.